Good afternoon. The time is 14:14, 2:14, 14:14. The date today is the 1st of February 2020, meaning is 1/2/2020, and the day today is Saturday. In Hebrew, acknowledge T993. Saturday, if the soul is born to a male, is Kwame, like my son, and Jose Mourinho. If the soul is born to a female, is Ama, like Celine Dion and my friend Anansi. The soul's characteristics is the ancient wise one. The ancient wise one. My name is Kojo. It means I'm the Monday born. If I was a female, I would be Adowa. And our soul's characteristics is Bajo, the calm and peaceful seeds, the calm and peaceful children. I find myself in a battle. I find myself in a war. And it's a very sensitive war. And I needed to find a strategy. I needed to respect the sensitivity of this war. But I also needed to fight it because winning this war wins me my freedom. Losing this war loses me my freedom. Yet, to win this war is to accept that I will be divided like a sword with a double edge, two sharp ends. I have come to the soul of Kwame, my son, Amma, my friend, Anansi, to seek guidance on how to fight a sensitive war. Today I was having a conversation with one half of my family, and they're happy. They're very joyful, and I could hear their voice on the other side of the telephone and our text messages, and they've been celebrating. I've received the pictures. Why are they celebrating? Because the United Kingdom has finally gained her sovereignty. Her sovereignty. The United Kingdom. Hold on. I'm getting divorced. Oh, I'm getting divorced. This choice I made didn't work out the way I thought it would. Now I'm hurting. Papa said to me, it's not easy to understand this child, but I hope you make it. You'll be happy again. It's not easy to understand this child. And I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them. Do you know why? Because the land called England, it belongs to the English people, and one half of my family are English, one half of my family are Ghanaians, one half of my family are Westerners, one half of my family are Africans. And get this, my Western family, they're happy because it's good to be sovereign. It's good to own the rights to that which is yours. It's good to be the manager of your own affairs. And that's what they fought for. On the other side, I was speaking to my Ghanaian family, who are also English, but they happen to have other backgrounds, so they're Ghanaians. And I'm told by one of my loved ones, it's not easy, son. It's not easy. Life has become very hard. Life has become very, very, very hard. And he gives me an example. He says he went to the fish market. Sorry, to the meat market. Yeah, where you can buy, the butchers, where you can buy both fish and meat. Yeah, chicken, beef, whatever, and fish. And my loved ones, they're trying to eat healthy, so they're sticking with fish. And then as he was buying, when he got there, he spoke to one of the attendants. So the attendant started serving him. He told the attendants the fish he wanted. And they got it whole ones and they chopped it up as he wanted. But as he was talking, there was a lady stood next to him. And she also happens to be of African origin, and she also happens to be Ghanaian. She had already been speaking to another gentleman about her shopping. So it was too late to hide what she had intended to buy, because she had already asked and the guy was already in the process of showing it to her. And you know what it was? It's not easy. I'm telling you, it's not easy. Get this. You know the meat, So when you cut up meat, you get the fatty bits, the undesired bits, Truthfully speaking, you see Black American cooking, so African American cooking. That's how it derived. They got the scraps from the masters, and then they did the best they could with the scraps. And it so turned out over the years that the scraps became the tastiest meals. But it wasn't the meat they were given that was tasty. No, it was the skill that was added to that which was given, which was waste. That made waste recyclable and edible. So get this. This woman had asked and the guy grabbed it. And it was only £5. Listen, my dad says there's a big amount of it. And you can tell it's full of pieces of skin, fat, hair, The woman felt embarrassed. She had asked for both the fish and the meat, and the chicken bits. So the guy shows her the chicken, and then he just slams it on the counter, and then he grabs the fish, and he slams that on the counter, and he says that's a $5 too. And the woman, she looked so embarrassed. And as the guy handed my dad's fresh cut fish, which my dad also requested for the bits, the undesired bits like the head to be cut off, and wasted. My dad could see in the £5 bags there are heads in there. He took his shopping and he left. He said immediately as he turned, a black guy, an African, you can tell because of his accent, runs up to him and he starts pleading with him for £1. So my dad dipped into his pocket and he came up with a few coins. He took £1 and he gave it to him. And then the guy started begging harder, this time for £2. So my dad added another £1. He ran off immediately to the next person and started begging. And then my dad walked off. Yeah, and my dad was saying, what do you call it? The guy, went to another person. So he started walking, to get to his car. Between that and the car, another guy, this time of Jamaican origin, but black, also comes begging. And then this Jamaican guy was also begging for £1. My dad at this time, he was getting a bit afraid of the whole situation, and he didn't want to stop, put his shopping down, and dip into his pocket. It was becoming very hectic. So he said, "I'm sorry," and he quickly walked to the car, put his shopping in, and closed the door and went. And he said, "Son, it's very bad to be a foreigner. It's very hard." And he tells me how he has noticed that foreigners who before never had a problem, the really old foreigners, the pensioners, like the Africans, the women and the men, all of a sudden, they're destitute. All of a sudden, none of their bills are being paid. And my other side of my family, they tell me that, listen, as long as you're here legally and you've done everything and your paperwork is straight, then you shouldn't have anything to worry about. And that's the truth. It is the truth. But get this, you see my other side of the family, people who came like them, for example, many got to England, and they couldn't come to England on their own free basis. So they had to somehow come underground. Like the slaves had to create an underground train system for freedom. These people were looking for freedom. They were looking for economical freedom, freedom of democracy, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom to be. They found that England had that freedom. But when they got to England, they realized that to ascertain that freedom, you had to reveal your true self. But revealing your true self sometimes became, your undoing. Because what you want may not, fit. Because someone will tell you, well, you don't fit the category of the people we would allow to claim these rights, because you've already got the rights. But maybe you know you don't have the rights. So many people were trapped in using people's identities. But they never at any opportunity, at any time, have or had the ability to change it. And since it wasn't noticed, they paid their taxes through that person. They did everything through that person. But they paid into the system. They paid in. So as long as that person or that identity was allowing them to work, they became entitled to many things. But get this, those things did not require certain things at the time. It only required a little bit. But now, to prove your entitlement, you have to come up with 100% proof of who you are. There are thousands of Africans and foreigners who reached the pension age, who paid for it. They worked and paid for it. But through circumstances, could not claim it under their names. All of a sudden, they've become destitute, but they've paid. And all one needed to do was pay. I'm caught in between two worlds. I'm caught between two worlds. I'm happy, listen. I'm happy for my Western family, my white family. Why? Because finally, they get to rule themselves. They get to decide who comes into their borders. They get to decide who lives there. They get to decide the quality of their lives. They get to decide who they talk to and who they don't talk to. They get to decide whose country they want to go to and who they don't want to go to. Yeah. And I'm happy because, get this, they found who they are. But you see, for my other side of the family, who are struggling, they also have to find who they are, so they can also find their happiness. So get this, you see my other side of the family, for example, they're from Ghana. They're from Ghana. And why are they not finding their happiness in Ghana? They're simply not finding their happiness in Ghana, because there's no happiness in Ghana. There's no freedom in Ghana. There's no love in Ghana. There's no unity in Ghana. There's fear in Ghana. So to secure freedom of speech, freedom of democratic expression, freedom of everything, my other side had to make a sacrifice. They had to make a sacrifice. What do you think they sacrificed? They sacrificed freedom. For freedom. What was freedom? They say, money makes you wealthy and powerful. Well, you see, Ghana, we have gold, diamond, cocoa, timber. We have everything that the word wealth comprises. So we are wealthy. So you see, my Ghanaian family, they sacrificed wealth for freedom, justice. They sacrificed all that Nananyami had blessed their land with for freedom and justice to express themselves. So, for them to find their happiness, and also feel like my other family, because you see me, I have to be happy for the Brexiteers, because it pleases one side of my family, and I love them, and I have to be happy, for those who do not benefit from Brexit. Why? Sorry, I have to be sad for those who Brexit benefits. So who it doesn't benefit, sorry. That's how confused my life is. Because I have to be equally understanding, of each one's plight. So now, how about I also have to understand that the Ghanaians' happiness could affect my other side of the family's happiness. Because let me tell you why. I'm fighting, for England to receive Brexit. I support Brexit. Why? Because one side of my family, wants Brexit, needs Brexit. They have calculated that Brexit, will give them that which every self-thinking person should seek: self-autonomy, self-rule, sovereignty. So get this. I fight for it. They get it. I'm happy for them. But then I knew the consequences of my actions and my beliefs, because I knew my other side were going to suffer. But I also now have turned my attention to fighting for my other side of the family, so they can also get that which Nananyami has given them, so they can also be happy. And I have done the calculations and I have realized it will mightily affect my happy side. But life has a scale of balance, and I realized that I can make both my families happy. The Brexiteers are happy, they've got their Brexit. How can I make my Ghanaians happy? Ghana has a history, and in that history is a certain phrase. The phrase is Anglo-Ashanti Wars. Anglo-Ashanti Wars. It means the wars between the English and the Ashantis. There has been a few, but why? Why have we always fought? We have fought because the English tried to secure the mineral rights that Nananyami has given us, the diamond rights that Nananyami has given us, the gold rights, the cocoa rights, the earth rights, the water rights, the air rights, the sun rights that Nananyami has given us. They came and they imposed themselves on us. They took much of it for free, and they empowered themselves with it. But this is a land which has nothing growing underneath it. There's no gold, there's no diamond, there's no cocoa, there's no topaz, carbuncle, amethyst, emerald. There's nothing on that land. So how is that land so proud of nothing I get? And Ghana, so no proud of everything I get. And then I realized it's a simple case of bad management. It's a simple case of bad management. The difference between the haves and the have-nots is the fact that the haves recognize what they have and they manage what they have. They preserve what they have. They protect what they have. And because they protect and preserve what they have grows in value and gives them more. The Bible says that God says that if you don't take care of that which you have already been given, then you will not be added upon. But the word the Bible uses, the particular word the Bible uses is, if you do not manage that which God has given you, you will not be further blessed. So it's not that my other half can't be happy. They have everything. They have everything considered to be wealth. They are wealthy people. But you see my other half that are celebrating, they're celebrating because they know they're wealthy. And how do they know they're wealthy? They sit on mountains of gold. Some they took by force, they didn't trade for. From my other half, they sit on mountains of diamonds. Some they took from my other halves. They control our gold mines. It's called Anglo-Ashanti Gold. You will never find a coal mine in England that's called Ashanti Anglo Mines, because the location of Ashanti land and the location of British lands are two separate territories. Therefore, if you haven't conquered one, you should not have one's property with your name on it. So I'm going to fight to claim back sovereign rights for my other side of the family. I'm going to cut my other side of the family fairly from Ghana's wealth. And I'm going to fight for its fair distribution to my other side of the family, who are the actual owners. I will introduce a good management skill, meaning my other family will not have free access to that which their land doesn't produce. They won't be happy, but it will make my other side too happy to know that they also resemble something. To know that when they talk of sovereign rights, that they can find the sovereign on their land and that they don't have to go and steal it. So I will introduce a political system, a political party, that if this political party comes on, without joining the Human Rights Convention, it will be illegal for you to discriminate against anyone on any basis. I will introduce a logic, into the political field. And the logic is proven. Watch. The word is sexual intercourse. Sexual intercourse. The meaning of this phrase means sex between the male and the female, and purposely for reproductive purposes. It means, it means, that sexual intercourse, it can't be between man and man or woman and woman. It can only be between man and woman because it's for reproductive purposes. Therefore, gay sex cannot be considered as sexual intercourse. Therefore, lesbian sex cannot be considered as sexual intercourse. So says the dictionary. Thus, we will introduce an educational system that promotes the only sexual intercourse that nature recognizes. But without discriminating against anyone's beliefs, let me prove my point. While this is the way forward, gays don't produce gays. It means if we enrich the sexual act between gays, eventually gayism will die because gays don't produce gays. Lesbians don't produce lesbians. It means if we enrich the sexual acts between lesbians, eventually lesbianism will die out. Murderers don't produce murderers. It means if we promote the sexual the sexual bullshit between murderers, it means eventually we'll die out. But the sex between the man and the woman does. So if we want more gays, we need to promote the right sex that produces more gays. If we want more heterosexuals, we have to teach the right sex that produces all kinds, murderers, homos, nonsense, and everything combined. And this is how you kill discrimination. But get this, as there is only two sexes recognized by nature, it means every other sex is a decision of oneself. Because you see, a mango tree will never decide to grow orange fruits. So if a human who's like a mango tree decides to grow orange fruit, it means he or she has put that upon themselves. But we will accept you for who you say you are and who you are. But understand this. Sin is a major decision and a life-changing decision. This is why we have guidelines. We say, you are not an adult, until you're 18. Therefore, if you want to become a transsexual, as long as you're 18, you can go and pay and get it done and live as you want. It's your choice. But at the age of 18, we are fully aware that you have made an informed decision. But we will not teach you about transgender at school. But we will have special centers dedicated to teaching about those who want to become transgenders, about transgenderism. But we will not teach the general populace, what some want to be outside of what everyone is. Because we have to teach the general subject, life, reprocreation. It's a case of bad management. The English, they employed the Masons to manage their affairs. The Masons take the bulk of the cut. The Queen 88 billion in 2018. And in return, they get given good roads. They get given a good economy. The foreigners, they came in, they built the country for them. Now it's time to hand the country back to its owners. That's what it is. It's a simple time. It's time. The owners of the country are claiming their country back. You came in, you were paid, you did a job, it's time to leave. But it will be wrong to think that England will sit there and think that an African country, because part of England's budget, is made from, colonial taxes paid by colonial nations that were colonized by England. The problem is this: colonization is a crime. Colonization was war. Well, the war is over. Africans have sought their independence. You came, you took, they owed you nothing in the first place. So now, they will cut all colonial ties with England. Ghana would. All Ghana's gold will stop flowing to England. England will come to the market like everyone else and bargain for it. England will come to the market like everyone else and bargain for Ghana's cocoa. We won't know them. We will know the one who holds the more cash. It will be the same all over Africa. They won't just walk in and take bauxite. They won't just walk in and take and take and take. You see, the word sovereign denotes gold. If you don't dig gold on your soil, it means you don't have access to your own gold. It means you are a gold acquirer. You acquire gold, but you have to acquire from other lands. If you have been holding those lands at gunpoint, and if you had 27 other countries supporting you, and every time those countries rose up against you, they joined with their embargoes and gave you your power back, and gave you your acquired sovereignty back, then maybe Ghana will still be afraid of you. But Ghana is not afraid of the British Army or the British Empire. We have fought them on many war battles. They've miscalculated us many times and lost. In one of the wars, the British stole many gold pieces. And one of the gold pieces they stole, they stole the Ashanti war blueprint. Today my family were waving flags, celebrating. In one of the wars, they stole the Ashanti war blueprint. And how did they get their hands on the Ashanti war blueprint? And how did they get to understand it? The Fantis, our brothers, betrayed us and gave them our secret and drew it for them. I'm going to take you, through the greatest war blueprint, that you have ever seen. A blueprint that on many occasions defeated the British Masonic armies and will carry on defeating them because it's a blueprint that you just can't stop. They took a gold piece and the inscription on the gold piece told you how war is won. I'm going to describe it to you. I need you to take the British flag, put it on the floor, and you have the greatest war blueprint ever created. But it's an Ashanti war blueprint. And let me explain it to you. We're going to behave like a 5D, digital effect system right here. First, I need you to remove the red St. George's cross. Second, I need you to remove the white. And then third, I need you to bring together the four corners of the blue. So all we have now is a blue flag. Is a blue base. Why? The Blue Army, the British Army. Uncle Sam. The Blue Army, the British Army. The Blue Petticoat Army, the British Army. That's what the blue actually stands for. Now watch. The Ashanti, believe, in one strategy only. And they've got the strategy from the greatest warrior they knew of. His name is Kweku Anansi. Anansi is the spider. Why the spider? You see the spider? The spider has 8 autonomous, let's say, legs or hands, 4 on each side. It can use all of them at once or individually, but separately. But however the spider uses any of them, it will be to its own benefit. So, when you put the blue bit together, you have what you call the Blue Army. They have musket guns. They have to shoot, reload. Shoot, reload. The trick is to keep the firing going. The firing going. So I shoot, I go down, you shoot, you go down, I come up, and we keep going. We stand in a box formation to cover north, south, east, and west. The Blue Army. So why? So we are always protected and no one sneaks up on us. Okay, good. The Akans though, they have a smaller army all the time. Why? Because it's jungle warfare. And in jungle warfare, the trees are a part of your army if you use them right. The trees are part of the army if you use them right. So, using drums called Fonton From, which are the talking drums, they will communicate locations, maneuvers, how to move. And the aim is to move like a Nancy. The aim is to move like a Nancy. So, I'll give you an example. There are some spiders that build their webs within their spider legs. And they hang up and wait for the prey below. And when some of their prey are dangerous, can kill them. But they use their legs, some of their legs to distract the prey. So take the prey's head, which will cause the damage to them, away from their main body, because a spider can lose a leg and will bring it back. So it will take away the danger from its main body, using its leg as a point of destruction, and then deliver its bite with its head. So it would disguise its real attack, but it would do that from 8 points. You don't know which of the points is going to be the one that damages you the most. Confused.com. So get this. Using feathers, different colors, there will be 8 different feathers. If your color feather is up, it means your army should listen to the drums. And the drums will tell you where to position the red army. In the end, all the armies will be positioned in 8 corners of the box army. But it's a stealth war. They will do all this silently, quietly. They will try and get as close as possible, but not too close. And they will lay in wait. Now let me describe the British flag again to you. Now, the 8 points, bring the white bits back and bring the red bits, the St. George's Cross. St. George was a West African Moor. Ghanaians are West Africans. We are from Mali originally. That's the word Ghana is from Mali. It means warrior kings and queens. And so Moors. They're Moors. They're gold traders. They're wealth merchants. They're cans. They're gold traders. They're wealth merchants. How would an Akan find happiness? How would a Ghanaian find happiness? A Ghanaian can only find happiness if they come to Ghana here, fight for Ghana's freedom, fight for freedom of speech, fight for democracy for Ghana, fight for everything for Ghana, and then fight for Ghana, to see the management of its mineral resources and its wealth, and to see to it that this blessing is being used and managed right for the nation. And only through that can Ghanaians expect to be paid or to be rewarded through prayers. Why? Because the Bible says only if you manage that which you have already been given will God add some more to it. So for Ghanaians to find happiness, for Africans to find happiness, they need to find good managers, like the British found. The British found the Masons. The Masons, they stole their management skills from the Egyptians. The pyramid system. So the Masons, they turn to Africans, the African knowledge, to gain the skills in order to turn nothing into something. And yet Africans have lost this skill to even turn something into something. They took a skill that turns nothing into something. And the Africans lost a skill that turns something into everything. I mean, like, imagine this here. I love my family equally. You see, my son, he lives in a divided world. Yeah, he lives a divided life. Yeah, one decision hurts him. The same decision makes him. Because my son, he's the best of both worlds. He's the best of both worlds. So when one part of his world is enjoying, it could be at the expense of the other part. And when the other part is enjoying, it could also be at the expense of the other part. My son has to learn very early to become a master of balancing acts. Because he loves both families equally, and he has to fight for both families equally. So my son cannot pick to say, this fight suits the side of my family, so I'll fight for it. You see, immediately when he wins the battle for them, he has to see how that fight has affected his other side of the family. If it has, then he has to find the right balance to create a harmony within the people he calls his loved ones. It's not an easy skill. It's not an easy skill. It's not an easy skill. Because get this, yeah. When you have family members, yeah, who see eye to eye with Nigel Farage, and you think they hate me, but they don't. They don't. It's not about you. It's never personal. It's never personal. It's always a bigger picture. You understand what I'm saying? It's always a bigger picture. And the bigger picture, yeah, can sometimes overlook the smaller picture. So for example, many will be denied, yeah, many rights because of Brexit. Many will gain many rights because of Brexit. You see the gainers. My son is one of them. You see the losers. He's also one of them. My son can enjoy his win. Yeah. But then on one way, yeah, when he reflects on his win, he will notice that his win is also a loss. But then I guess he will have to then weigh, is the loss bigger than the win? Or is the win bigger than the loss? And pick the better half. That's the thing. They say, oh, one man's riches is another man's rubbish, and one man's rubbish is another man's riches. One man's gold is another man's rubbish. You have to respect, yeah, people's views, because that's the only way you can expect them to respect yours. And you have to understand people's views and people's decisions to respect it. But when you give time to understand, yeah, and to respect, then when you come up with your views, they will also take the time to understand, respect, and analyze. You're going to find that because you listened, and because you paid attention, and because you took everything into consideration, yeah, and you didn't take sides, you respected. And when the win came, you were happy. Even if the win was a loss to you. Listen, you're going to have, yeah, a brother and a brother at the starting line of 100 meters. And get this, yeah. Brother 1 may want brother 2 to win. But get this. If he loses guard to let brother 2 win, and brother 2 does not pick up his guard to win, then both of them may end up losing. So brother 1, in order to make brother 2 win, has to run his hardest race and just pray that brother 2 has just that 1 inch more to keep up with him, and then perhaps secure the win to the finish and give it to brother 2. Even your brother cannot help you in a race, if you're not helping yourself. So I realize that we're all on a different race. What prospers you? What makes you prosperous? For example, if Ghana immediately cut all colonial ties with England and Ghana Gold was established, period, for the benefit of Ghanaians, England would lose a lot. It will benefit those less fortunate in England who are stuck in Aquaintour. Aquaintour means in traveling. They're traveling. Aquain means the road. Tour means gun. They're stuck in the gun's chamber. We fired them out. Aquaintour. They're stuck. Maybe then they can come home and say, you know what? At the least, I gained knowledge of how the system is managed. And thus, now that Ghana has acquired its natural rights and has acquired its sovereignty and is in control and is managing its finances, it has made room for people like me to return, but also polish up and remember